I picked up on a story in the BBC and it's entitled "Sharp Decline in Appetite for News in Recent Years. Reuters Institute says." So I'll just read a little bit if you'll bear with me. The number of people taking a strong interest in the news has dropped by around a quarter in the last 6 years, a global study suggests. A report by Oxford University's Reuters Institute says 48% of people around the world are very or extremely interested in the news, down from 63% in 2017. More than a third of people, 36% worldwide, say they sometimes or often actively avoid the news. So I saw this article and, within the last 6 months or so, I became consciously aware that I probably consume less news than I ever did before. Just over a year ago, in fact, it's more like 18 months, I think, just before I started my YouTube channel, I stopped reading The Guardian. Now, The Guardian was somewhere that I went to for most of my news. I would have my breakfast and start off my day reading The Guardian. Not that it picked up my day. It really sort of dragged down my day. It's not really the right way to start the day. But I'd spent years really using The Guardian as my primary news source. I was taking part in discussions and the comments, on The Guardian. I had an account, etc. But about 18 months ago, I think really shortly after, less than 18 months, I started my YouTube channel in, I think it was January 2022. And I think not long after that, I stopped reading The Guardian. And I also stopped generally consuming as much news as I had done previously. A couple of reasons for that. One reason, and maybe the main reason even, is that I recognized that in particular, going to The Guardian every day was bringing down my mood and affecting my mental health. And that more generally speaking, consuming as much bad news as I was consuming as much depressing news, both on a national and international level, was actually impacting my mental health. So I consciously stopped reading The Guardian, of course, and unconsciously, I think that I tried to sort of reorganize my life so that I was consuming less news, and particularly less bad news. Also, added to that, when I started my YouTube channel and I started consuming a lot more YouTube content, watching atheist activists and people from other areas, popular science, etc., I started realizing that there's a big gap between what a lot of those new YouTubers know and what I knew. So I felt that I had big gaps in my knowledge. I was ignorant in many areas, science and philosophy in particular, history, politics perhaps. So I started increasing my reading. So I replaced that news consumption with a sort of positive acquisition of knowledge, making myself less ignorant, trying to reduce the gap between me and other people that I thought knew a lot more than I did. So I went outside. I didn't just stick to philosophy and sort of atheist type issues. I discovered more about areas where I thought I knew something, realized I knew nothing. Veganism, for example. Thanks, ISIL. So I got some recommendations on reading, etc. And consequently now I know a lot more about veganism and other topics than I ever did before. And I'm far less likely to make ignorant content. So that's been useful. That has been a useful dividend for me of consuming less news. Now I wonder whether any of you guys out there, whether you also, like me, have reduced your news content and increased maybe consumption in something else which you consider to be more important in your life, or whether you also, like me, also generally avoid watching the news because it drags down your mood. Let me know. I've put a link to the article in the description below. So have a read of that, and it might chime with you, but I would be interested in your comments on this. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back again with another video very soon. Bye for now.